all 3 of the Uncharted games for PS3 are being remastered.
Everything great about Halo Sandbox, all into one multiplayer.
I kind of know.
I think when I bought it,
I thought
back great.
Fasten your seatbelt.
What's up, guys? Jalon here from a cast of geeks, here to bring you guys another video. And today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the iPad Air 2. Now this is Apple's latest iteration on the iPad line. And in this video I'll be looking at the number of refinements Apple has made to the product, such as the addition of Touch ID, its thickness being reduced to just 6.1 millimeters, and its weight coming in at 0.96 pounds. So let's go ahead and get started on the unboxing and first impressions.
Okay guys, and here we have the packaging for the iPad Air 2, and before I begin I should also note that this is a refurbished model, and with that the graphical layout of the box is slightly different. You can see the certified refurbished icon here, and I actually went with the refurbished model after doing some research. I found that most of the time the refurbished models are actually models that have only been used typically once, or they're dead on arrival and are sent back and fixed, or they're used by journalists or other entities for a specific event and sent back after they're used. Okay, let's go ahead and remove the package here. Seems to be pretty on there. Okay, and here we have the iPad Air 2 itself. It seems to be enclosed in a layer of plastic. And just right off the bat, you notice how just thin this thing is. I mean, it is astonishingly thin and light. And this is the silver 64 gig model of the iPad Air 2, and as I mentioned earlier, this is a certified Apple refurbished model. But let's go ahead and remove the plastic. Right away, I don't see any blemishes or impurities really in any sort of way on the actual device itself. With this being a refurbished model, that's something that I generally try to check and inspect for. But don't see anything, no scratches on the screen. You do kind of notice the anti-reflective coating here, and in just a bit I will be comparing that to the reflectiveness of the iPad Air original, which Apple claims that the Air 2 is actually 15% more anti-reflective than the original Air. Looks like here we have the manual with the lightning charger below, and here we have our power brick, and that's just kind of your average run-of-the-mill inclusions if you ever purchased an Apple product before. Now the iPad Air 2 does include many refinements over the original iPad Air, but to me the thing that really sets itself apart from any other feature on the iPad Air 2 is just how much thinner this thing is. I mean, this thing is astonishingly thin and light. I mean, the thing doesn't even weigh a pound, and to me that's the thing that just leaps out at you right away. Okay guys, and here we have the iPad Air 2 on the left and the original iPad Air on the right, and I just thought I'd do a really quick comparison for you guys so you can kind of see how the two stack up in lightness, and how thick the devices are, and some other features. Now the height or width of the device has not changed. The bezel is still the same size all the way across the screen. The only thing that has changed is actually with the actual thickness and the addition of Touch ID. As you can see, it's absent on the original iPad Air, and it has been included on the iPad Air 2. Okay, and here we have a comparison of the thickness between the models. As you can tell, the iPad Air 2 actually does, it actually is, I wouldn't say significantly thinner, but it is definitely thinner than the original iPad Air. The iPad Air 2 on the left comes in at just 6.1 millimeters, while the iPad Air, seen on the right here, comes in at 7.5 millimeters. So, you know, there is some difference there. As far as the actual weight goes, the Air 2 is about 18% lighter, Apple claims. Okay, and here we have a good look at the comparison between the way that the two displays reflect light. Now the iPad Air 2 is on the left and the iPad Air original is on the right, and as you can see, the Air 2 actually is a lot more anti-reflective than the Air. Apple claims that the Air 2 is the least reflective tablet on the market. Okay, and here we have the iPad Air 2 coming in at 6.1 millimeters, and I have this compared to the original iPad Air, which actually comes in at 7.5 millimeters. And just for completeness, I thought that I would compare the iPad Air 2 to his older grandfather, the iPad 4th generation, which is the same body style that was used since the iPad 2. Now, many of you may ask, should I upgrade? Is it worth it? And to those people, I would say that if you're using an iPad 4th generation or earlier, that I think it's absolutely worth the upgrade. The thinness, the lightness, just the spec boost overall. I mean, you're going to have 2 gigs of RAM, and this thing's going to be able to multitask with true split screen multitasking with iOS 9. And to me, that feature alone makes it, a worthy upgrade. And you're going to get that A8X 64-bit processor and M8 graphics, which is a significant boost over any of the processors or graphics used in an iPad 4th generation or earlier. But as far as upgrading from the original iPad Air, that really just depends on the user and their use case. If you're a heavy power user and you're doing a lot of gaming, or you're doing a lot of video rendering and exporting, and that increased processor and increased graphics and an increase in RAM from 1 to 2 gigs, which has shown to be quite significant over the original Air. If that's something that's important to you, then maybe it would be worth upgrading. But as far as just upgrading for the thinness and the lightness, if that's if that's something that's important to you, then you should do it. But as far as that being a selling feature for most people, I would say no. So I would say if you have the original iPad Air, then you're probably going to be okay. But as far as having an iPad 4th generation or earlier, then I think it's almost a no-brainer to upgrade with the features that iOS 9 bring to the Air 2 specifically, such as split screen multitasking and picture-in-picture. But that has been our unboxing and first impressions of the iPad Air 2. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, please, and comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.